Islamism. Peace gods, peace goddesses, wisdom, strength, and beauty. Hotep. Shalom, Mishkael. Mm, I reserve all my rights without prejudice, without recourse. All right. Today I am that I am inviting and welcoming all ancestors known and unknown who are honorable, who do seek justice, truth, peace, freedom, and love. I beseech thee. Going to write out name declaration, which should be the first one of the first steps, status correction, per my research. So, since I was going to temple and realized that the temple was full of insurgents, I had to hold on, y'all, move around because I'm not very friendly for one, and definitely ain't with no sucker shit. Definitely not with that weak ass shit they got going on in these temples. But I'll be back though. So when I get back, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions. Because my ancestors, my grandfathers, grandmothers, forefathers, foremothers, they left the care of the temples to those who are honorable. So if you are in the government as a head, functioning leader in the temple, I put you on notice. If you are not in honor, you will be found out. All right, here we go. Yes, you will be found out and you will be removed. You and all of your colorable insurgents along with you. You up in the temple and they got gold fringes on the flags. It's a problem. I would consider that an act of war, personally. So, you temple leaders, be careful, beware. True Moorish masters have awakened. Okay, 1 second. And this goes for these Freemason temples as well. These Shriners temples, all these temples who pretend that they are the true heirs to the temple gates, to the temple doors, to the keys to the temple. be inside these temples treating people like they in a Baptist church or somewhere. I'm not coming in your temple to be religious with you. I don't fucking want to be religious with you. I come in the temple to do one thing. That's to uplift myself. Because before I can uplift anyone else, I must uplift myself. You see? Because once I uplift myself, then I know how to uplift my mate. I know how to uplift our offspring. You see? I know how to uplift, you know, those closest relatives, you know. And then I can uplift my neighbors and strangers, you see. You know, you're standing up there acting like you are in honor of the prophet when you're nothing but a weirdo who sold your people out for fiat. Nothing but weirdos who sold your people out. Weirdos who war with their own people. You will never live in freedom and peace warring with your brothers. Is it not written? Up in the temples, they want you to come in there. Some days you go in there. There's some Freemason standing up there like he know what the fuck he's talking about. Has no clue about nothing because he doesn't study. He paid money for his degree, like most of them do. They don't fucking study. They pay money for their degrees. And what does that tell you? They have no degrees because the money ain't real. So if you pay with something that ain't real for something, what happens? It's void by default. But yet they're in positions trying to tell you how to level up, how to degree up. And most of y'all end up paying for your degrees. You go to college, you join a fraternity, you join a sorority, you got to do some weird ass shit to get, you know, inducted. And then when you do, you don't you don't get nowhere but involved with a bunch of criminals. I know it's hard, but it's true. If it's not, you are welcome to refute, to rebut. My unrebutted claim will stand as law, as truth. You know, going in these fraternities, sororities, even going in the Freemason Hall, doing homosexual acts to get inducted when they stole the teachings from us, the true Master Masons, from our ancestors, from our grandfathers, grandmothers who taught them. You see, you don't pay for a degree. Can you can you can you go to God and pay for your soul, pay for your spirit? No, you can't. They want you to believe some bullshit that Jesus died for your sins. Don't believe that bullshit. No, he didn't. What he did was showed us the way. If you want to know what that means, you need to research. You need to study. You see? Because when you know the way, there's nothing that can harm you. Poverty can't harm you. Sickness can't harm you. You see? Your enemies can't harm you. Knowing the way is more precious than gold. You see, what way is that? The way of Jacob's ladder. Remember the story of Jacob's ladder. Jacob was able to go up into heaven and come down on earth whenever he pleased. Study, read. Don't take my word for it, please. That's not knowing. Knowing something is knowing it for yourself. That way, when someone tells you, all they're doing is affirming what you know. Confirming, affirming, reaffirming. You see? See, when you've studied, they call you you a workman. See, no one can rebut a workman. His word stands as truth because his study shows him a workman. See? But yet you have these universities giving away workmen's degrees or doctorate degrees to people who write nothing but lies. They make shit up, put it in a dissertation, and call it a fucking study. How dishonorable is that? Now they're doctors over you. And their words and their images and their pictures are quoted in the history books as being profound truth. Where's the pen? Where's my sword? My staff. My scepter. Yes. I'm looking for the pen, y'all. Hold on a minute. Where's the pen? Where did I put it? I had like 2 or 3 pens a second ago. I don't think this is gonna work. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, dude. All right. All right. Writing this out first. I'm just gonna put that on. That's supposed to be the one flag, and this is gonna be another flag. Right. The Moorish, divine, and national. I be listening to a lot of brothers and sisters, teachers, in the temples and online. And a lot of us say the Moorish, divine, and national movement of the world. But how many have studied those words? What do they mean? Where did they originate? Right? For example, right? Moorish divine, Moorish national. right? Two separate, right? Moorish national means deals with nationality, allegiance. So our Moorish nationality, right? We focus on this one thing, and our Moorish divine, or what is divine? Well, maybe that's divinity. So maybe we have the Moorish divinity and nationality movement. All right. So if they're combined, right, we have the Moorish divinity of nationality movement. Right. So what is a divine and national Moor? Well, I would argue that that appears to be a member, an important member of government. Why? Because divine, that person is divine in nature, which means they only answer to divinity, to the maker, the God, the Father, the Creator. So that is a divine person. And in government nowadays, divine, like the Pope and like um, priests and bishops, right? They practice divinity in types of government, right? In their nationals, they practice divinity, right? So that goes back to where it is written, ye are a royal priesthood and a holy nation. Ye a royal priesthood and a holy nation. So, royal priest. So, possibly that means that in this nation, the kings are divine or the kings are priests, priest kings and queens, priest gods, prophet kings, dealing with divinity, prophet kings, and government. Okay, prophetess, prophet kings. Uh-huh. And in the early scriptures, I believe these designations were also known as judges. The Moorish divine and national movement of the world. Ye are royal priest, ye are a royal priesthood and a holy nation. As it is written. All right, so let's see. Legal notice. Name declaration. I, right here, is where my appellation would go. I'll leave some room right there. You put your, if you're writing along, if you've taken out your sword, the sword is mightier than the pen, or the pen is mightier than the sword. Yeah, one of those. Okay. I, appellation. Not name, not your name, because name designates a slave. The legal word term is a designation for slave. So whenever you get pulled over or you get stopped, first thing they want to ask you, what's your name? See, we've been trained to think that they're asking us a simple question that's not hard to answer, right? No. They're getting you to admit that they're your master. Don't take my word for it. Study. Study. A wise man adores the law. A wise man loves the law as he loves himself. I know my star, y'all. My star is a little crooked, but this is the marsh. This is the peace and friendship. So I appellation, not name, appellation. Being duly affirmed. Standing squarely. Declare and proclaim. On divine law. Nature's law. Universal law. Moorish birthrights. International law. And constitutional law. Declare and say. I go in the temples, y'all, and the dishonorable, the sellouts, right? The ones that's helping them to genocide. They missing an eye, or they missing a foot, or they missing something if you pay attention to see the fuck is who. Because if you don't, you will be deceived. You see? And possibly harmed. You see? We've been hearing I've been hearing, all my life. Oh, why they keep killing all the prophets? Well, get helping. Because soon as one comes into the temple, guess who's opening the door? The fucking weirdos. And you should have a sense of anger. But we're going to focus it like a magnifying glass under the sun. Because there's nothing hidden under the sun. I, being previously, identified states, society of North America on the record and for the record. U.S.A. The colorable, that means they're fake ass laws. Wardship, name, Kenneth Arnez Davis. This right here, we can stop right here and talk for months just on this first sentence. I being previously identified by the United States as colorable into wardship. No, I was not. Neither were you. But you know what happened? There were thieves standing by when I was born. What did those thieves do? Well, these thieves, first they had to trick my mother and father, my parents, mainly my mother, into signing a contract, right? They call that the birth certificate. Then they had to trick a judge into giving them legal guardianship of my estate, which means somewhere someone's attorney filed evidence that's fraudulent. Somewhere in the court of the county where I was born, some corporation, some company hired their attorney to file documents claiming to be guardians of my estate. Child Protective Services assisted them in this crime. The courts assisted them in this crime. Somewhere on a petition for guardianship, there had to be a space to write in why you, unrelated person, is applying for guardianship of this child. So I know it's filled with lies, but yet there are highly intelligent, right? Highly intelligent scholars who believe that if someone steals your name and puts a claim on it and says that they copyrighted it, then they own it and you don't. That's I don't that's not true. That's a lie. And we're gonna prove it. In the meantime, we'll reclaim our power of attorney. And we'll start here. I being previously identified by the United States Society of North America, U.S.A, under the colorable wardship name. Colorable, look that up. Ward, look that up. A ward is someone who can't make their own decisions. That's what that means. So whoever went into court after they stole my mother's power of attorney, stole her signature with the birth certificate using the original birth record, they went into court, they tricked the judge, or they paid the judge, either one, into appointing them as conservator, as guardianship of my image, my likeness, my estate. Crime punishable by death. These people who do these things, they're heretics. Their own government says they're heretics. Their own king says they're heretics. Not to trust them. And yet, almost all of us are words, or have been. I being previously identified by the United States Society of North America U.S.A under the colorable wardship name Kenneth Ernest Davis, do hereby refute the fraud Well, why did they want to do that? Why did they have to go and get guardianship? And well, because after that, they went and opened a bank account in our name, created a company, purchased bonds on the stock market in my name, allowed those bonds to mature into the hundreds of billions of dollars in my name, which is blasphemy. And we'll prove it. Make public and publish my corrected national name. Declare and affirm my true, proper person status. And reclaim my rightful social. Yes, yes, stole your parents' guardianship. Lied to the court. They probably wrote on the paper that your dad's in jail and your mom's homeless, so they need guardian over you. Thankfully, I have a private investigator to show me this fraud and reclaim my rightful social and cultural life. You know, what is the tort for stealing someone's heritage? What's the remedy for theft by conversion of heritage and culture? Someone in the international court, please answer this, because we are ridden with rodents in our land. Heretic rodents. They should be brought to justice at once. I being previously identified by the Union State Society of North America U.S.A under the colorable wardship name Kenneth Arnold Davis, do hereby refute the fraud, make public and publish my corrected national name, declare and affirm my true proper person status, and reclaim my rightful social and cultural life. Of the state. In accord with my Moorish nation. And if you don't know what a Moorish nation is, you haven't done any research. So don't ask anyone to help you. Don't ask anyone to fucking help. No, go study. Help yourself. I'm telling you like I would tell my firstborn, my baby brother, sister. That's not how it goes. You want to attain degree upon degree, line upon line, precept upon precept. Find a way to read it with your own two eyes. Find a way. You may have to listen and listen and listen and listen and listen and listen to everybody talking about it before you figure out how to read it for yourself, what they talking about, what they read. It's okay to ask for help. Just have to know if the person or the being you're asking for help can actually help you more than you can help yourself. Because the Father gave us all power. So if any help should be asked, it should be from the Father. Before you email someone from YouTube asking for help. North America. Make public and publish my corrected national name, declare and affirm my true, proper persons in accord with my Moorish nation of Northwest Amexem, North America. acknowledging my birthright. Birthright, the Most High, the true and living creator that was, that created all that was, that created all that will be, that created all that is. The source, the all. So why would anyone sell something that was gifted to you by the source? That doesn't make sense. Only a heretic would want you to believe that that is something that could be done. You go stand before the creator and receive a gift, and then you walk off and go sell it. No, no. Having lawfully and legally obtained and proclaimed my Moorish nationality and birthright. See, we only know African American and Black and Negro as nationalities because since we were brought home from the hospital, that's all that's been on the TV, radio, since we started going to indoctrination camps. That's the first thing we were taught, told, and identified as, you see, organized crime. The most heinous of its kind. Having lawfully and legally obtained and proclaimed my Moorish nationality and birthright, name and title, in harmony with in association with and in accord with. Some of y'all been going to temples for years and still haven't gotten to this point. Having lawfully and legally obtained and proclaim my Moorish nationality and birthright, name and title, in harmony with, in association with, and in accord with divine law. The customs, and the laws, rules, and usages of the Moorish divine and national movement. Being Aboriginal, that means this is my land that's being occupied by heretics. Being Aboriginal and Indigenous. And bound to the North American continent by heritage. By primogeniture, by birthright, by natural birth, by freehold, and by inheritance. Declared for the public record. Hold on a minute. temple is not a church, y'all. In case you're wondering. Type and shadow. Our bodies are called temples. Our bodies are also called vessels. So that a vessel and a temple are the same thing. Can be the same thing. Definitely concerning things of the spirit. Or concerning things of divinity. So, if you're a leader in the temple and you want to use Yeshua to illustrate an idea or a lesson to avoid being mistaken for a religious heretic, you should compare other prophets as well in your analysis. See? Unless you don't believe there are any other prophets, then just say that. The instructions of the temple are not to teach people about Jesus. Those are not your instructions. Yes, our brother was most noble. We honor our brother. Our brother left us lessons that he intended for us to master. Our brother left for us secrets to unlocking the gates of heaven. Anytime you wish. Our brother showed us that with an abundance comes great compassion for others. How many people you know got everything in the world, but all they can think about is going to heal a group of people that are sick, going to feed a group of people that are hungry on Sunday, on the Lord's Day, the Sabbath, right? With great abundance comes, much requirement. Obviously, is the lesson. Oh, hold on. Oh, man. Pardon. Had a tuna fish sandwich, y'all. Got to be careful with this tuna fish because this mercury in the fish is not good. If you eat some tuna fish and you notice yourself getting a rash, on your legs, your feet, or anywhere, don't eat it. A lot of these canned foods are giving you rashes. A lot of these frozen vegetables giving you rashes and other sicknesses. Be careful. You know, I'm realizing that um, juicing and blending and fresh vegetables is possibly the most wisest way to eat right now. If you can't blend at the moment, until you can, be careful. You know, get some magnesium. You know, get that stuff out of you. Don't let it sit in your body for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, months at a time. Because the same food that you can put in the trash and it spoils and starts to smell, exactly what it's going to do in your stomach. Exactly what it's going to do in your stomach. Rot, spoil, and smell. And if your digestive system is, you know, out of whack, it could sit there for a long time inside of you. So be careful. All right. Don't hurt yourself. Don't eat yourself to death. All right. We have brothers and we have sisters. We have elders in the temple that are 200-300 years old because they never ate themselves to death. You don't have to take my word for that. All them swisher sweets and all that bullshit, don't smoke that shit. If you smoke hemp, roll it in hemp. That's what I say. If you eat hemp, you know, that's what they called marijuana before they gave it a brand label, marijuana. It was called hemp, and they gave it the brand name marijuana so that they could make it colorable by law and illegal, so-called illegal, and lock up 3 to 4 generations of Americans in prison still today because of it. Okay. Declared for the public record, I am returning the European cognomen and fictitious misnomer. Fictitious. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what does fictitious mean? And if you say, oh, that means that is real, you have been miseducated. Someone lied to you, or you did not pay attention in class. Because fictitious means fake. Non-fictitious means it's real. Non-fiction means it's not real. Fiction means it's fake. Remember that. Never forget it again. It's important in life, in law. You know, we got a bad habit in the hood. We say, there go the law. Everybody run, here come the law. Duck, there go 12, there go the law. Stop fucking saying that. They not the fucking law. They so far from the law, if you actually knew it, you would never run from them. But when we're young, we barely know because our parents either got locked up or in prison or, you know, captured in some kind of way and left us in the streets to raise ourselves, to fend for ourselves, you know. Fictitious misnomer back to the colonial possessors. So I'm giving y'all back your slaves of its pedigree. I am returning the European cognomen and fictitious misnomer back to the colonial possessors of its pedigree. Publishing and proclaiming my own free national name. Affirming my actual, rightful, and civil in full life status. I know some of y'all, nigga, you ain't nobody. We ain't scared of you. We gonna stay up in the temple. We gonna stay running the show, and you ain't doing nothing about it. Well, I will tell you this. I hope that you stay, because if not, you'll be those who went door to door telling people to tell them. So you better study. And when you finish studying, study thyself. Evil spirits ran up on them and whooped their ass. I am now rightfully declaring, publishing, and proclaiming my own free national name, affirming my actual, rightful, and civil in-life status, conjoined to my Moorish American consanguine pedigree and national honor. Let it be declared. Known, published, and resolved. That I am. And then put my appellation there. In propria persona sui juris. In propria persona sui juris. All rise. The Honorable such and such. Mr. Davis, you didn't rise. You need to rise. Well, I will rise, my honor. However, I do not grant you in persona juris. I do not waive any of my rights. I reserve all my rights without prejudice. Are we clear? Being in my own proper person. By birth, right? And inheritance. Without the foreign imposed color of law or assumed due process of the United States society. So would you state your name for the record? State my name. What do you say my name is? Pursuant. Are you Kenneth Inez Davis? I'm the authorized representative for the all cap legal fiction. You didn't answer the question. You just answered. Excuse me. I'm the authorized legal representative for the all caps legal fiction. Oh, well, do you understand the charges against you? Charges? Charges? If any man is injured and makes a claim against me, let him come forth and testify at once. My honor, no one has come forth. I beseech you to show proof that there is controversy before the court. All right. So we got impropria persona juris, being my own proper person, by birthright and inheritance without the foreign imposed color of law or assumed due process. Okay. Pursuant to, but not limited to, 1. Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution. If you want to know more about that, you should look it up on the RV Bay Publications. That's where I think I first found it, or where I think I found the most information. RV Bay Publications. Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution. And I'll make another video about that as well. Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution. Okay. Zodiac Constitution. And birthrights. Of the Moorish Americans. The next child I have, they're gonna come out with this written on their brain already. Written on their hearts. Moorish Americans. Being Ali Bey El Day and Al. Article 2. Paragraph 2. Now, Ali Bey El Day and Al. Now, that's something else that no one can tell you. See? You must sojourn into the inner temple and receive the wisdom of who you are. Then you will know whether Ali, Bay, El, Day, or Al applies to you. You must ask the Father, who is the Creator. If you've never done that before, it's easy. You just do it. When you walk into a store and you're looking for the item you want, you can't find it. What do? You ask someone who works at that store where it is. And then you follow the instructions you were given. Some people will ask you a question and you'll give them the answer and they'll go the opposite way. Well, I don't believe. Oh, well, go that way. Tell me how it works out when you get back. I hope you make it back. Number 2, United States Republic Department of Justice. Moorish American credentials. AA 222 141 dash truth A dash 1. Number 3, United States Supreme Court, semicolon, or colon, Supreme Law dash Acts of State. United States Supreme Court, Acts of State. Number 4, United States Constitution. Article 3, Section 2, Amendment 5, Liberty Clause. And Amendment 9. Reservation of the rights of people. Number 5. Resolution number 75. April 17th, 1933. Moorish American Society. Of Philadelphia. And the use of their names. Number 6. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. United Nations. Human Rights. Number 7. Rights of Indigenous Peoples. United Nations. General Assembly. These are all caps. General Assembly. Part 1. Article 4. Wherefore, I, appellation, I'll write mine in later, being part and parcel named herein, am by birthright, primogeniture, and inheritance. Make a lawful and legal entry of affidavit and public notification of nationality proclamation. Name correction, claim, declaration, affirmation, and application. Herewith, published for the record. Published for the public record. I am a free and sovereign Moorish American, national, impropria, persona, sui juris, Northwest Maxim, which is Northwest Africa, which is North America. Witness, witness. All right. We're gonna read a little bit of this. First, take a look at this. Okay. I'm just gonna read a little bit. The Zodiac Constitution. Moorish adepts, Moorish scientists, Moorish master masons, Eastern stars, sheiks, sheikesses, neophytes, Great Seal PhDs, LLD, the erudite of jurisprudence, amanuensis masters, and world scholars have studied and marveled upon analyzing the written Zodiac Constitution. That is true. The highly qualified document was penned by Stephen Bay, a 33rd, and 360-degree free Moorish master mason, master astrologer, PhD, LLD, and constitution law giver. This master work was copyrighted and registered in the Library of Congress, Copyright Office, and with the Department of Justice at Washington, D.C., United States Republic of North America. There are interesting and effective literary characteristics about C.M. Bay's written Zodiac Constitution, which go beyond the fact of it being clear, simple, and direct. Moorish scholars will take note that it maintains the ancient Moabite, Moorish, scientific, metaphysical, and spiritual approach to the number seven. Seven, in harmony with the natural constitution of man's makeup. Other learned intellectuals of the varied and knowledge and of government, no doubt, must appreciate its uncluttered directness and integrity toward justice. The written Zodiac Constitution was not readily available to the masses due to the nature of limited access to more schools of learning and the suppression of information practices of Union States Society politicians and other secret societies politicians, and their policies of clubism culture. The true history and law of North America has never been revealed to the subjugated masses. This antisocial practice is a part of the necessary socialization tools for maintaining veiled economic, political, and bureaucratic servitude in the Americas, particularly in the North Gate. Let us be qualified in our understanding that the Zodiac Constitution is not just the actual written 7-article document as presented to you for reading, historical analysis, and law study. The general populace must have access to that consciousness involving the true history and scientific foundation of civilization and culture on the earth planet. Thusly, one immediately and wisely recognizes what actually comprises the Zodiac Constitution and the elemental nature of what inspired C. M. Bay to produce the inclusively complex scale of this compact and evidentiary treatise on right law government. What comprises the Zodiac Constitution is expressed and revealed in the first opening paragraph of Article 1 as written by C. M. Bay. His literary works have come manifest by way of a knowledge of the Zodiac, or workings of nature, the Moabite Moorish code for civilization, and the sciences mentioned. And so, one can surmise that astrology, the 12 signs of the zodiac, an expansion on the code of mathematics scale involving the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the science of geometry, G, and the Arabic alphabet comprise Moabite Moorish science and the culture and foundation of civilization on planet Earth. A logistical study of the Zodiac Constitution should generate years of research and recovery of world culture and true American history for all who seek truth. Let us affirm our honor for our ancient mothers and fathers, embrace knowledge, and shun ignorance. Help to uplift falling humanity. Jibu hak salam hilatam adil Islam assalamu alaikum wari makam. Taj Tariq Bey, a free Moor, son of a widow, MDNM, MST of A, MOO the R, GSNAMA, Sheikh Habib Territory, Northwest of Mexico. Article 1. The 12 signs of the zodiac, the code of mathematics scaling from 0 to 9, and the science of geometry comprise the constitution of the living Moorish nation of North America, referred to as Negroes, who ruled the world in the seven seas by the 12 signs of the zodiac and the science of geometry for 1196 years. To the Amazon Dutch German Catholic priesthood fathers of the Revolution of 1789 and the Sisterhood Magna Charta Emancipation Proclamation Union Society of White Supremacy in 1863, North America. The 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Society and also the 9 judges of the Supreme Court were founded upon the Moorish nation's 12 signs of the zodiac constitution and mathematics scaling from 0 to 9. Thus, without our Moorish constitution, the Magna Carta, Emancipation Proclamation, Union Society of the myth of white supremacy definitely could not have been founded. Article 2, Zodiac Constitution, Birthright. The Moorish American, the Bays and L's. Since the 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Magna Charta document of white supremacy and the judges of their Supreme Court were founded upon our Moorish zodiac 12 signs, mathematical constitution, the lawmakers have no jurisdiction over the free Moors, the Bays and L's, in the inherited land of the Moorish nation, namely USA, Canada, Central, and South America. The Moorish American nationality and their surnames Bay and L are their inherited birthrights without a legal due process of the lawmakers of the Union Society, USA. What our Moorish forefathers were, we are today without a doubt or contradiction, namely Moorish. Article 3, Tax and Military Exemption for Moorish Americans, the Bays and L's. The Moors, referred to as Negroes, definitely can never become members and citizens of the Union Society of the 48 states. Therefore, they cannot be forced or drafted into the Union USA Army or military service to fight for the Magna Charta Code of the white supremacy, especially against themselves. The lawmakers of the 48 States Union order cannot force the Moors, the Bays, and L's to pay taxes because taxation without representation is a supreme violation of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, birthrights of Islam. When the Union lawmakers denounce their immortal Magna Charta Code and resort to the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, the Moors are compelled to pay taxes because every one of the nation will be equally represented by it. There is no room in the science of masonry, the zodiac, for mystic god religious worship, race, color, ignorance, war, crime, slavery, or human injustice. Not any of it at all. Article 4, Adequate employment and protection for Moorish Americans. Every lawmaker, the heads of industry and business enterprise of the 50 states Union Order are obligated members and citizens of the Magna Charta Christian Church and temple system of the Christ the King of Jews, meaning jury over the wealth and culture of the living Moorish nation of North America. Therefore, by the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, the Moors, the Bays, and Els can demand adequate employment, food, clothing, shelter, medical care, equal rights, respect, and protection from mob violence, rape, and injustices, otherwise without being obligated to the Union Church and religious system of the Order Christ, the White Sun Idol God. Article 5. Immoral Marriage License Code against the Zodiac Law of Nature. Truth cannot be altered and therefore needs no apology, nor doctrine, because it is the supreme mental doctor itself for the entire human family, woman, and man. Thus, the truth is, the Sisterhood Christian Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, established the Marriage License States Right Code to prevent the Moorish men and women from marrying. All right, y'all, we're going to come back on part two. Peace and love.